Hey guys, thank you for joining me today on Godspot. I want to talk about when life's spinning out of control. It says in Hebrews 6:19, this hope we have is an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, which enters the presence behind the veil, speaking of Jesus. Katie Metro was 74, who was hiking near Phoenix, Arizona when she fell. She injured her face, her wrist and her hip and became immobile. A rescue helicopter flew in. The worker strapped her to a stretcher, but unfortunately that day the winds were quite fierce and the line failed that was supposed to prevent the stretcher from spinning as they pulled it up to the helicopter. The incident, which was caught on camera, was terrifying. Here is this woman suspended horizontally to the stretcher, started spinning around faster and faster like the runaway hands of a clock. They estimated over 170 times in 2 minutes. She survived the ordeal, although she was dizzy for several days, and social media was transfixed by this and had a lot of views, millions of views that viewed this. And you can't help but thinking, maybe it's because people feel like this is their life spinning out of control. You know, we trudge through life, we have a fall, we encounter difficulties, and suddenly we feel as if everything's out of sync and we're out of control. And we feel like many times that we are at the end of our rope and we're dangling dangerously in high winds, and life can be truly dizzying if you lose perspective. Let me just say this first and foremost, is the Bible says if you would anchor your life to Christ, it is sure and steadfast. No matter how life's spinning, how much life is spinning out of control, He can be the anchor to your soul. But here are some practical tips, things you can do when you feel like your life is spinning out of control. Pause firstly and take a break. It's important to take a break every now and again. And it's perfectly okay to take some time for yourself. Sometimes it might be a moment where you shut the office door and you put a sign up, please do not disturb, or it may be a time when you go for a walk. Whatever it may be, you need to take time for yourself and hit the pause button. Another thing that'll help you when you feel life's spinning out of control, it's changing your perspective. Instead of thinking that it's all out of control, maybe you need to think it is what it is and change that perspective. This doesn't mean you're accepting poor treatment or poor conditions, but it certainly means that you're going to let go of control of the uncontrollables. So this brings me to the next point. Take control of the things you can change. Even though people may not have control of everything in their lives, we do have control of some things. And those things in our lives we need to activate, such as maybe go to the gym or go for a longer walk, do something to get your body moving. Eat less sugar. Remove yourself from toxic people in your life that aren't helping you. These are things, they're just little things, but they can establish a sense of control and optimism in your life. Another thing we can do when we're feeling that we're spinning out of control is be confident in your life's decisions, because what happens when we make a decision and we start worrying whether it's the right one, that's when we can feel it's out of control. Be confident about the decision you make. Be confident about it, live with it, and walk with it. And remember, we're not perfect. I know you want to make perfect decisions, but you're not perfect, and neither am I. So be confident in what you're doing. Another thing you can do is talk it out. For some people, being alone doesn't help them. They need to talk it out. When you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, maybe a loved one or someone you can trust, you can sit down and just talk to them and unpack it a little bit. Maybe even a therapist might be handy. Whoever you find is available to you, talk about it. Voice your concerns, voice your worries, deconstruct those feelings and sort them out accordingly. And finally, I think you should really think positively. Try to think positively, because life will not always be this way. It is going to get better. This is just a chapter. It's not your entire life. I hope this helps you today. When you feel like life is spinning out of control, anchor yourself to Jesus and let Him be sure and steadfast in your life. Thanks for listening. Hit the like button, share it with someone else.